everybody. This is our first YouTube channel. Welcome to Life in His Word. My name's Kathy.
What is my name?
Kiki.
Yeah, because
that's it.
My real name is Ricardo, but they call me Kiki.
We want to take this opportunity to talk about what we're going to be talking about. There's a few things that we want to share with you guys. Just bring you into our lives, talk a little bit about everything.
Everyday life stuff that I guess obviously we encounter, so I guess a lot of people also encounter. So
Yep. So, this is what this channel is going to be about. So we're going to talk about children, marriage, ministry, pastoring, leadership, business, because we are business owners. We've been married this year. We're going on 20 years. 20 years of being married. We've been together for, in August, it'll be 23 years or 24 years.
Sounds about right.
We've been together since we were teenagers.
August 18th, 1996.
Yeah, we've been together for a long time. We have 4 children, 2 girls, 2 boys, ages 15, 14, 10, and 9. So yeah, our lives are crazy, busy, but we love it. Yes. we own a pool servicing business. We're actually doing a new venture as well that we'll be talking about along the way, and we're also pastors of a local church here in Clermont,
Florida.
We're always doing something. So yeah, that's just a little bit about us. But along the way, in other videos, we'll kind of talk more about life experiences and things that we've learned throughout life.
One of the things that we get hit with all the time is like, how do you guys do everything you do?
Yep.
Because it does get crazy, apart from having, 4 kids and owning a business and running a ministry and then venturing off into other stuff, and between marriage, family, friends, sometimes it's like, how do we do everything we do? And I think it's because of how we organize and prioritize things. I mean, I think it's kind of key. You kind of have to schedule everything in a way.
Yeah.
Because if not, it can get really hectic, which is something I think we kind of struggled with at the beginning, because we're totally different with that.
Yeah, I'm more of the organized
OCD.
I'm more organized, as many women are. I'm very organized. I like to have things ahead of time. Even when he wants me to bring a message at church or a Bible study, I'm like, you need to let me know at least 2 weeks before. I'm not one of those that is like, oh, here, I have something prepared that quick. No, it takes me a little while. I like to organize, have everything, in its place, have stuff on the calendar. I have a big old calendar there in our office, and I put everything of what we're doing for the month. Family time, I schedule out, the kids, if they have any kind of sports coming up, if any awards at school, ministry things. I mean, I put it all on the calendar, and I think that's helped us out.
It has
a lot. Like, because he makes fun of me, but then he's like, wow, babe, that actually works.
It does. Because I'm more of like the adrenaline junkie. I'm like,
he's super spontaneous. Like, he's just like, oh, let's do this. And I'm like,
let's go 100 miles an hour. We're getting stuff done, So it's like the whole thing of, hey, you got 10 seconds to get this done and get it. I'm like, yeah, baby, let's get those 10 seconds.
That stresses me out.
But yeah, that would. And I think when we first started, that would stress you out, because you're like, I can't handle this, So.
Well, because our lives are so busy. Yeah. Like, it's so full. Our life is very full.
It is.
We have a lot that we do. And, I think we also enjoy everything that we do, So we never want to be in a position where we have to kind of like, obviously we can't drop our children. Like, we can't be like, oh, we can't deal with them. No, they're like our main priority. But as far as like, obviously our business, ministry, and other things that we love to get our hands in, we don't like to drop things, so we kind of prioritize our lives, and we're like, okay, how can we make this, I guess, also more into a family thing? Let's all work together as a family. And we also like to sit with our kids and talk to them and let them know, like, hey, this is what's going on, this is what we're going to be doing. And just letting them know as well in our schedule is, letting them know about our lives and our schedule. And they've kind of grown up with being on a schedule since they were babies, because I kind of established that since they were little.
And I think you hit a good spot with the kids, because I mean, it's cool how, even with the kids, we do ministry together, like they're all involved, they all know. And even like now when we're starting our new venture, in the whole farming and what we're doing that route, you know, we actually had to make some adjustments in business and our finances
with the kids
you know
too.
we had to budget some stuff in, and it's funny because sometimes I think as parents we want to try to shield our children from stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if we have to budget and we have to, you know, try to like avoid spending some money here and there, we might try to like hide it from our kids to kind of like not make them feel bad and not make them worry, you know. But it's funny because I think when we do that, sometimes it's like we stress them out more.
Yeah.
Because they'll notice that something's off, but maybe they don't know what's off.
Exactly.
Or that, you know, that something's changed, but they don't know why it's changed. So I think even when we sat down with our kids and we said, hey, listen, this is what we're going to now and this is what we're going to have to do. And, you know, we're doing this now to get here. I think they even understood even more. And it made them kind of like be at ease. Like, oh, yeah, we're budgeting some stuff here, but it's because we're working towards this. You know, so I think, you know, when you involve family, you know, like even the kids,
to your kids and everything, even in your scheduling as well, involve them so they understand what's happening for the month and what's going on. Yeah, like I said, I have that board and we all look at it, you know, and the kids already know, like they're like, Mom, can we do this? And I'm like, let's look at the schedule, you know, like did you guys look at the calendar? We even tell our leaders about that too, like, are you guys checking your calendar? Like, check your calendar. I just think it's very important when, I think the days we live in now too, because, you know, I think everybody has so much that they're doing, you know, people work, and as individuals, we like being a part of community. We like being a part of something to help the community, you know, in somehow, in some way. We have, you know, our parents that we have to care for, and, you know, and I think just making everything into perspective and priority. So like, I guess let's talk about real quick about priority, right? Because we're talking about a lot of stuff, but we're going into scheduling and priority and all that, right?
Right.
What has helped us has been, okay, so what's most important in our life, right? God, you know, God is number one in our life. So we, you know, he is our number one. Then after that, what comes next? You know, it's my husband, marriage. And then, you know, marriage, you know, after that is our children. So putting that into perspective, we kind of, we prioritize our lives like that, you know. So we have our marriage, you know, that we have to make sure that we're caring for and nurturing. And then we have our children that we have to make sure that we're caring and nurturing. And marriage is always going to be there, right? Till death do us part, you know. But our children, we know that there's going to come a season where they're leaving, you know. So I think a lot of times in marriages, almost people always have the priorities messed up, and they have the children first and then the spouse. And that's a lot of times marriages fail because of that. Remember, your kids are not going to be with you forever. So, and if they are, I mean, they shouldn't be, but there should come a time where they have to go. But yeah, we prioritize our life like that. So it's like our children, you know, our husband, spouse, our kids, and then everything else falls into place. And as a family, we serve God together as a family. So with that said, you know, I think a lot of times our priorities can be messed up, where a lot of times we kind of give more attention to outside family more than we do to what's going on inside, you know, and not that that's a bad thing, but there's seasons that we go through. Right now, we're raising 4 children. You know, when they're up and going on their own, then maybe I'll transition into a season where maybe I can care more for a parent, you know, or a grandparent, you know, like there's different seasons in our lives, and we have to understand those seasons, you know. So if you're a family, a young family with young children, you have to make sure that you're prioritizing your life in that way and keeping it in that order. And it's not that you're pushing your other family away and this and that, but you have to understand the people that are in your home, that is your main priority. And kind of, like how we do our scheduling, you know, there's months where we'll have a family barbecue. We'll invite, you know, mom and dad and brother, sister, and we'll have a good old time. And there's months where we can't. And that one day off or 2 days off that we have in that month, because our month is so packed, we dedicate it to our children instead, you know, and our family, they understand that, you know, they've come to understand that, where it's like, you know, this month I would love to go out with you guys, but I can't. We have to take the kids out, or we have to spend a weekend getaway with the kids because we need to, you know, pour into our kids. So just, I think that's helped us in our family. And because a lot of, again, people are constantly asking us, like, how do you guys spend time as a family? How do you, I guess people are so surprised because our family's not perfect by no means. Okay, we're not perfect. Our marriage isn't perfect, but I think what surprises people is because our lives is so full and we're always doing something that they're like, wow, how is it that you guys aren't falling apart?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Why haven't you fainted yet?
Why haven't you guys like divorced? Why aren't your kids going crazy and rebelling? And it's like, you know, I think it's because we've been able, by the grace of God, you know, he's helped us and given us wisdom in that area of priority and scheduling and making sure that everybody is getting attention, that, you know, especially the ones at home. So yeah, I think that's it, you know. So for a lot of you guys that are out there that are, maybe you are in the same position as us, you know, that you have a business or you work a lot and you're also in ministry. Maybe you're even pastors that you just started and you have 4 kids or more, you know, and you're probably like, I don't know if I can do this. Yeah, this is just how we do our stuff, you know. So okay, so if your intermediate family is having a hard time accepting the fact that maybe God called you on a mission and you're not spending enough time with them, you know, I think the best thing would be to talk to them and let them know, like, you know, this is just the mission that God has for me right now, and the days off that I do have, I have to spend it with either my spouse or my children. So you know, this is the season that we're in right now, and sometimes some of them will be understanding, like our family is, and they kind of, I mean, our family is pretty good at helping us too, and they've been there for us, supporting us, which is a blessing. Not many people have that. If your family's not understanding, it's okay. Like, I just want to tell you, it's okay. They'll come to understand that soon. You know, it's not going to happen overnight, but little by little, as you continue and being consistent, they'll eventually understand.
And you know, we were talking about scheduling, and I was very anti-schedule. Maybe because I don't like writing stuff down, or I don't like reading. Who knows? Could be a little bit of both. But I think also when you make a schedule, because I mean, we even schedule in our date nights for us, you know, so to make, but I think when you see it on the schedule, you kind of, like when it's on there, you kind of see it visually.
Yep.
So you kind of see where something's lacking or where something might need a little more attention. Because I think sometimes when we're so busy, because I mean, life is just busy, you know, and everything is so fast, you know, and we're used to doing everything right away. Yeah. That I think when we live life like that, like since we're always active, it's not like we're just sitting down doing nothing. So since we're always active, it might feel like, oh, I'm doing a lot, or, you know, I'm getting a lot done. Yeah. And sometimes you might be skipping a certain area that you might not even notice because you're always so busy. Yeah. But it's funny because when you see it on the schedule, you kind of say, hey, I'm doing this a lot, or maybe I'm not doing this enough.
From October 1st to October 31st was full.
We had one day.
We had one day that we took the kids out, right?
Yeah,
we did something with the kids. We saw how much we have for that calendar for that month, and we were like, okay, we have this one day that's open. We're gonna dedicate that day to the kids. I mean, we had to like call in, you know, Titi and Theo and Abby and Gampa, like everybody. I think Mikey and Lisi, our youth pastors, also helped us. I mean, we called in the army. We're like, yo, we need your help. So if you have that, if you're involved in community, always have people help you out. You know, obviously people that you're close to and that you trust, you know. I've had the question as well that people have asked me, like, how do you schedule in your time with God? I've always said, and it's biblical, it's in the Bible, you know, I've always said that the morning time is the best time to schedule in your time with God. Some mornings, you know, you're able to wake up. There's some mornings that is very, very hard to wake up. That's understandable. But I don't know, the morning to me is, if you can take at least 30 minutes to just dedicate it before God and just come to him in prayer and maybe read a devotional. I kind of feel like that although you have your crazy day ahead, it almost feels like it
sets the pace.
It sets the pace that's for the rest of your day. I don't know. I kind of feel that there's a peace will come over you. You see things at a different light because you just have that continuous relationship with God. So I believe early morning is very, very good. And, people have asked me too, like, how do you do your Bible studies? Like, when do you even study? Because your life is so crazy. And there's been times where, for me, I like to listen a lot to different, messages and stuff. I like to read the Bible. For me personally, I like to read the Bible in the morning. And at nighttime before bed, I like to read as well. So I'm constantly reading. Sometimes even during car rider line while I'm picking up my kids, I'll pull out my phone and I'm reading and I'm taking notes. So I think getting creative with that.
I hope you're not taking notes and driving.
No. It's while I'm
Like parts. Okay.
Listen, y'all
Just
know
clarifying.
car rider line is like 2 miles an hour. You're there for like an hour. So that's kind of like how I do my stuff, how I put in my Bible study. If, you want to really strengthen your relationship with God, hey, schedule it in. A lot of times people think like, oh, schedule that. Yeah, schedule everything and schedule your life in. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I know there's people out there that love to live spontaneous and do, hey, if you're able to do that, that's awesome. That's wonderful. But this is more for the people who are, day to day that works and are part of community, business, and their lives are just so full that they're like, okay, how do we do this? How do we schedule this in? What are we doing? Write it down, write down for the week what you need to get done for that week. Don't go crazy either. Like, I don't know, like sometimes we write stuff down and it's like something big that you want to do and you're trying to get it done that week. It's like just...
Yeah, we have to be realistic.
Yeah, be realistic. What do you need to get done for the week? I've known people that they even write down their menus for the week. I don't do that.
We have to enjoy the moments that we're in.
Yes.
Because I think sometimes scheduling obviously is important and it's needed and it helps you out and it keeps you organized. But I think one thing to help us enjoy life is that we have everything scheduled out, but we got to enjoy the moments that we're in. Like we talk about sometimes how busy our lives are, with the kids, and especially when they were younger.
Oh God,
we have the girls that are 14 months apart, the boys that are 13 months apart. At one point we had 4 under 5.
Yeah.
So when they're young, it was like we go outside and yell for a little bit and
or cry.
Come back, yeah. And but
I would cry. He would yell.
Like but but I think even in that, we have to enjoy those moments.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, sometimes I'll go back, and I know you were doing it yesterday, looking at old pictures, and you think about, the times when they were little and they would scream their heads off, and now you're like,
they're so cute.
Yeah, so it's sometimes at the moment we can feel overwhelmed in the scheduling that we're in, but I think just knowing that either way, whatever it is that we're doing, it's not forever.
Yeah, it's a season.
It's always like you go through all kinds of seasons in life, so it's not forever. So even when something's crazy and hectic or difficult, just kind of embrace it and enjoy it. And I think that'll also help keep our stress level down. Sometimes we get so busy we don't enjoy the moments that we're actually in.
That's true.
That's
true. Yeah, and I think also scheduling stuff in kind of makes you look forward to what's coming up, and sometimes even that you get excited. You're like, oh, this is coming up, or like let's say you want to schedule in a date night once a month or whatever, once a week, however, and you guys schedule it out. We try to do a date night once a month and family time once a month. Sometimes that doesn't happen, so we're like, okay, this month we're having date night, next month we'll have the family time. So family time for us is more like taking the kids out, doing something adventurous. We as a family, we love to do stuff that's adventurous, so we'll go to farms, we'll go to, I don't know,
wherever we can hang from something, and
go outdoors. We're very outdoors people, so we love to go outdoors with the kids and just have that time with them. So family time for us is we have family time, I guess, every day, as far as eating dinner together and all that. When we schedule in family time, what we're, in case you guys are like, wow, you guys don't see each other, like what I mean by scheduling something in is doing something with as a family.
I guess extracurricular activity.
Yeah, activity, having fun, going out with the kids, So even if it's going to the park or whatever. So it is important wanting to do something fun, I always tell him, I'm like, babe, I need to do something fun, adventurous. Like, we need to go out, do something. Yeah, I look forward to those moments because I feel like it's a reward for
like skydiving.
No, I'm not skydiving. I'll do zip lining, but no skydiving.
Oh, we get the zip.
Yeah, so the first thing is for your crazy stuff, or not, I guess the only thing is schedule your stuff out. So yeah, I know it was a lot.
It was, but I think it was good information.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a question we get asked a lot. And with that, I guess if there are any questions that you guys want us to bring up, or topics you guys want us to bring up, I guess let us know.
Let us know.
You know,
and we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. This is what we want this YouTube channel to be about. We just want to talk about everyday life. Hopefully you guys like this. Go ahead and like and subscribe and share. Let's get the word out. Let's get other people involved in our conversations, and we'll see you later.
Until next time.
But what was I saying? I forgot. I just went. Let's see, how long was that? Families.
Sorry.
Actually, we should introduce ourselves. We didn't even introduce ourselves.
That might be a good idea.
That might be a good way to start.